Alex had never thought living on another planet would be like this. The colony was sleek, shiny, and full of technology he didn't fully understand, yet he had been excited when he got the assignment. A fresh start, a chance to explore the stars and the promise of independence. But nothing prepared him for the roommate. He unlocked the door to his small apartment and stepped inside. The place was almost empty, just a few standard-issue pieces of furniture, a bed, a table, and a kitchenette that looked like it had been designed by someone who loved blinking lights more than actual cooking. He dropped his bag on the floor and looked around. The apartment smelled faintly metallic, mixed with the subtle scent of the alien atmosphere filtered through the colony's air system. "Finally, my own space," Alex muttered, kicking off his boots. He was just about to flop onto the bed when the door hissed open behind him. Alex spun around, his heart jumping into his throat. There, standing in the doorway, was not a human, not even close. She was humanoid in shape, tall and slender, but everything else screamed alien. Her skin shimmered faintly, almost like light was trapped beneath it. Her eyes were huge and glowing a soft blue, reflecting the dim lights of the apartment. Thin, retractable appendages extended from her back, twitching slightly as if they had a mind of their own. She wore a loose outfit that seemed designed for comfort rather than modesty. "You must be Alex," she said, her voice musical and slightly vibrating in a way that made Alex's ears tingle. "I am Zyra, your roommate," Alex blinked. "Roommate? I wasn't told I'd have a roommate, especially an alien roommate." His voice cracked. He wasn't sure if it was fear, awe, or both. Zyra tilted her head, a gesture that seemed part curiosity, part amusement. "Yes, you were assigned to share. It is efficient. I hope you will find me acceptable." Alex forced a nervous laugh. "Sure, yeah. Totally acceptable." He shifted uncomfortably, suddenly aware of how small and confined the apartment felt. "So, you live here too?" "Yes," Zyra said simply, stepping fully inside. She paused, tilting her head as she observed him. "This is your habitat. Interesting." Alex tried to hide his nerves behind a shrug. "It's small, but it's fine, I guess." Zyra hummed, making a soft sound in her throat that Alex couldn't interpret. Then, without warning, she turned and floated toward the kitchenette. "I will prepare sustenance. You may want a shower after your travel. It is customary for humans to cleanse themselves frequently." Alex exhaled, relieved that she hadn't asked any more questions. He stepped toward the bathroom, glad for privacy. He stripped off his travel clothes and climbed into the shower, letting the warm water wash away the day's stress. For a moment, he allowed himself to relax, thinking that perhaps living with an alien roommate wouldn't be as strange as he feared. And then it happened. The bathroom door slid open with a quiet hiss. Alex froze, hand over his chest, water dripping from his hair. He could see a faint silhouette backlit by the bathroom lights. "Zyra!" he shouted. "No, wait, stop!" But it was too late. She had already stepped inside. And then Alex did something entirely human. He panicked. Zyra didn't look away, she just stared. Her mouth moved, her tongue flicking over her lips in a gesture Alex had never seen before. His heart pounded. He could feel every drop of heat in his body as embarrassment consumed him. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were coming in," he stammered, fumbling to cover himself with a towel. Zyra raised a hand, then paused, her appendages twitching nervously. She spoke slowly, almost reverently. "In my culture, this gesture means fascination, curiosity. I am intrigued by your form." Alex froze. "Intrigued? I am naked." "Yes," Zyra said simply, tilting her head. "You are without covering, fascinating." Alex groaned, wishing the ground would open up and swallow him. "In human culture," he managed, "we usually cover up, especially around roommates." Zyra blinked, processing the information. Then she made the same flicking gesture with her tongue and said, "Ah. Then I will adapt. Fascinating remains, but boundaries respected." Alex nearly fell into the tub laughing at the awkward phrasing. Despite the embarrassment, There was something oddly endearing about the way she approached social interaction. I guess we're off to a good start, he said, still trying to regain his composure. Zyra nodded. Yes, we will learn each other's customs. This will be enjoyable. After the initial panic, Alex finished his shower quickly, wrapping himself in a towel and stepping back out. Zyra had already begun preparing some sort of strange, glowing food at the kitchenette. She looked up at him and smiled. Nourishment prepared. You may eat, then we may discuss human habits in more detail. Alex raised an eyebrow. You're hungry already. Always, Zyra replied. My metabolism is constant. I adapt quickly to new environments. He sighed, realizing that living with Zyra was going to be nothing like living with a human roommate. But there was a strange excitement in that realization. Maybe, just maybe, this would be fun. They ate in silence at first. Alex nibbled on the nutrient bars he had brought from Earth, while Zyra consumed her glowing food with quick, efficient movements. She occasionally glanced at him, flicking her tongue in that same curious way which Alex now understood as her version of studying or analyzing him. So, Alex said cautiously, you said you want to learn about human habits. Yes, Zyra said, leaning back. I wish to understand. Human behavior is complex, yet fascinating. I wish to avoid mistakes. Alex swallowed, thinking about the earlier incident. Well, I guess we start simple. You don't just walk into the bathroom when someone's in there. That's considered rude. Zyra tilted her head. Noted, rude, adjust behavior, understood. Good, Alex said, relieved. Next, humans usually like privacy and modesty. Clothes are important. Clothes, yes, Zyra said, making a soft humming noise. Covering is customary, fascinating, learned. Alex chuckled. Glad we're making progress. Over the next few hours, they continued their lessons in human and alien etiquette. Zyra asked questions endlessly, often about things Alex took for granted. Why humans sleep in enclosed spaces, why we eat certain foods, why we blush. Each explanation fascinated her, and Alex found himself laughing more than he had in weeks. By the evening, Alex realized he wasn't as uncomfortable as he had feared. Zyra's curiosity, though intense, wasn't threatening. It was just alien and oddly charming. He settled into the bed, thinking about the day. Sure, he had been caught naked by his alien roommate, but he had also made the first real friend he had in months. He thought about all the adventures ahead, from exploring the colony to learning about Zyra's world. Maybe this new chapter wouldn't be so bad after all. And as he drifted off to sleep, he could still picture Zyra standing in the kitchen, flicking her tongue in that strange, fascinating way, as if studying a creature from another universe. For some reason, Alex found it comforting. Tomorrow, he knew, would bring more lessons, more misunderstandings, and more laughter. And he was ready for it. Alex woke to the faint hum of the colony's life support system. Sunlight filtered through the translucent walls of the apartment, casting soft colors across the floor. He stretched, thinking about yesterday's strange but amusing events with Zyra. Somehow, despite the initial embarrassment, he had found her presence interesting. Not just interesting, actually. Fun. He padded into the kitchenette, expecting to see Zyra already at work on her glowing alien food. Instead, she was sitting cross-legged on the floor, studying a small device with several moving parts. The appendages on her back twitched in perfect synchronization, and she hummed softly, a sound Alex had learned meant concentration. "Good morning," he said cautiously, trying not to startle her. Zyra looked up, her glowing blue eyes locking on his. "Good morning, Alex. You slept well?" "Yeah," he replied, scratching the back of his neck. "And you?" "I do not require sleep as humans do," Zyra said, tilting her head. "But I rested in stasis mode, efficient for energy preservation." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Stasis mode, huh? Sounds fancy." "So what are you working on?" "This device," Zyra said, holding it up. "It monitors atmospheric particles and analyzes nutritional content. I am trying to adapt it to human physiology. curious if it can improve your sustenance. Alex leaned closer, intrigued despite himself. You mean you're trying to make my food better? Yes, Zyra said simply. Humans are fascinating in their nutritional needs. Your metabolism is slower than mine, yet more adaptable in certain ways. I wish to understand this fully. Alex nodded, impressed. Well, thanks. I guess. The day progressed with a rhythm that felt almost normal. Zyra asked endless questions about human habits, social interactions, and even humor. Alex, in turn, tried to teach her the small things, how to make a cup of coffee, how to fold clothes, and even how to use the colony's transit system. Zyra adapted quickly, though her methods were often unconventional. At one point, Alex had to stop her from attempting to fold clothes by stretching them in a pattern he didn't recognize. Zyra, that's not how humans do it, he said, laughing. But more efficient, Zyra replied, holding the garment up proudly. Alex shook his head, smiling. Maybe, but it won't fit in the drawer that way. By midday, the two had formed a comfortable rhythm. Zyra had prepared a nutrient-rich meal that Alex found surprisingly tasty, if a bit strange to the eye. They ate together, sharing stories of their respective worlds. Zyra described her home planet, a place of floating cities and glowing forests. Alex told her about Earth, its oceans, mountains, and busy cities. You humans are chaotic, Zyra said after a while. Yet you survive. Adaptability is impressive. Alex grinned. We like to think we're clever. I agree, Zyra said, flicking her tongue lightly over her lips, a gesture Alex had learned meant she was amused or pleased. After lunch, they decided to explore the colony together. Zyra had never interacted with other humans outside controlled environments, and Alex wanted to show her the bustling marketplace. The streets were full of humans, aliens, and hybrid species, trading, chatting, and moving about. The air was filled with the scent of strange foods, fuel, and ozone. Zyra's eyes widened as she observed everything. This is overwhelming, she said. So many life forms, all moving in different patterns. How do humans manage? Experience, Alex said simply. We learn to adapt quickly, and we pay attention. That's how we survive. As they walked, Zyra pointed at various objects, gadgets, clothing, and food, asking about their purpose. Alex explained patiently, noting how she seemed to absorb information faster than any human he had met. It was both impressive and a little intimidating. At the marketplace, Alex bought a few items for the apartment, supplies they might need, snacks, and some small tools for Zyra's experiments. He watched as Zyra examined everything, her appendages moving in ways that seemed almost hypnotic. Why do humans eat such strange substances? She asked, holding up a brightly colored fruit. Alex laughed. Because it tastes good and gives us energy. That's usually enough. Zyra tilted her head. Curious. Simplicity and efficiency coexist in humans. Fascinating. They continued their walk, stopping occasionally to help an alien vendor or to observe a street performer. Alex noticed that Zyra didn't just look at the people around her. She analyzed them, noting gestures, expressions, and interactions. He realized she was learning more than he expected about human social behavior. Suddenly, an alarm blared across the colony. Red lights flashed and an automated voice announced, "Attention all citizens. Atmospheric containment breach in Sector 7. Evacuate immediately." Alex's heart raced. Sector 7, that's near the industrial area. We need to get to safety. Zyra's eyes glowed brighter. Agreed, follow me. They ran through the streets, dodging panicked citizens and automated security drones. Alex marveled at Zyra's speed and agility, her appendages helping her navigate obstacles with ease. They reached a safe zone just as a cloud of toxic gas hissed past the street they had just been on. Close call, Alex said, breathing heavily. Thanks for guiding me. Zyra nodded. Humans are resilient, yet risk assessment is important. I will continue to protect and learn. After the danger passed, they returned to the apartment. Alex was shaken but also exhilarated. "I've never had an adventure like that in my life," he admitted. Zyra tilted her head. "Humans are capable of remarkable actions under stress. Your instincts are impressive. I will study this further." Over the next few days, their bond grew stronger. They shared meals, exchanged stories, and taught each other about their worlds. Alex learned about Zyra's sense of humor, which often involved elaborate pranks that were alien in nature but surprisingly harmless. Zyra learned that humans valued privacy, personal space, and subtle communication cues that didn't always make sense to her. One evening, as they prepared dinner together, Zyra glanced at Alex and made her familiar lip-flicking gesture. "You know," Alex said cautiously, "you really don't have to do that all the time." "I am expressing appreciation," Zyra replied. "It is my way of showing curiosity and pleasure, not disrespect," Alex laughed. I know, it's still strange to get used to." They ate in companionable silence, the small apartment filled with warmth and the faint glow of Zyra's food. Alex realized that, despite the initial embarrassment, he had found a true friend. Someone from another world, yet someone who could understand him in ways few humans could. Days turned into weeks. Alex and Zyra faced minor crises: a power fluctuation, a supply shortage, a miscommunication with other colonists, but each time they worked together. Alex's human ingenuity combined with Zyra's alien intuition made them a surprisingly effective team. One afternoon, Alex noticed Zyra staring at a holographic display of the colony's layout. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "Patterns of human movement," Zyra said. "You and I have learned much, yet there is more to understand. Humans adapt, survive, and sometimes flourish in ways my species cannot fully predict. I am intrigued by your capability." Alex smiled, feeling a surge of pride. "We do what we have to do, that's all." "No," Zyra said softly, her glowing eyes meeting his. "It is more than that. Your species, you inspire." Alex felt warmth spread through him. Somehow, hearing those words from an alien being he had just met made him feel extraordinary. He realized that humans, despite their flaws and limitations, had a quality that transcended worlds: creativity, courage, and the ability to inspire. That night, Alex lay in bed, thinking about everything that had happened. The colony was dangerous, unpredictable, and full of unknowns. Yet, he felt ready to face it all, especially with Zyra by his side. He thought about the first day, about the embarrassing bathroom incident, and he laughed quietly to himself. Life on a distant planet, living with an alien roommate who licked her lips when curious, was not what he had imagined. It was better. Strange, challenging, sometimes overwhelming, but better. And as he drifted off to sleep, he knew one thing for certain: humans were remarkable. And he was living proof of that. Alex woke to the soft hum of the colony's systems once again. Sunlight filtered through the translucent walls of the apartment, painting the floor in gentle shades of green and gold. Today felt different. There was a tension in the air, a sense of anticipation. Zyra was already awake, standing at the window, her glowing eyes scanning the skyline. Her appendages twitched subtly as she observed distant transport drones and colony workers moving through the streets below. Alex had learned that this was her way of analyzing and preparing. "Morning," he said cautiously. Zyra turned her head and gave her familiar lip-flicking gesture, the one she used to show curiosity or pleasure. "Morning, Alex. I have detected an unusual energy pattern in Sector 9. It may indicate mechanical failure or possible intrusion. We should investigate." Alex groaned, running a hand through his hair. "Do we ever get a calm day?" Zyra's eyes flickered. "Calm is subjective. Efficiency and survival are optimal. Investigation is logical." He sighed but nodded. "Fine, let's check it out." They suited up in the colony-issued protective gear, designed to shield against toxic atmospheres and minor energy discharges. Alex had grown accustomed to Zyra's constant presence. though her analytical gaze still made him feel like she could see right through him. The streets of the colony were busier than usual. Alarms had been minimized, but a low-level alert pulsed across the city. Workers hurried to fix issues, drones zipped through the air delivering parts, and holographic screens flickered with diagnostic messages. Alex realized that life on this planet was never simple. Sector 9 is northwest of here, Zyra said, her appendages extending slightly as she hovered a few centimeters above the ground. We can reach it faster if we take the service tunnels. Alex raised an eyebrow. Service tunnels, aren't those dangerous? Controlled risk, Zyra said with a slight hum of amusement. Efficiency outweighs risk in this scenario. He groaned but followed her into the narrow tunnels. They twisted and turned beneath the colony like veins carrying life, dimly lit by emergency strips. Alex's steps echoed, and he could feel the energy of the place, the hum of machinery vibrating through the walls. After a few minutes, they reached a junction where the energy spike had originated. Zyra extended a hand, scanning the area with a soft glow from her eyes. The disturbance is localized, likely a malfunction in the atmospheric regulator. Possibly sabotage, but probability favors technical error. Alex nodded, impressed. Then let's fix it before it becomes a real problem. Zyra's appendages extended further, connecting to the control panels with subtle clicks. Alex followed her instructions, identifying the issue, a damaged coolant conduit. He felt a surge of pride as he worked efficiently, guided by Zyra's precise analysis. "Excellent," Zyra said. "Your method of problem-solving is exemplary." "Humans have remarkable improvisational skills." Alex laughed quietly. "Thanks. I guess all those survival drills back on Earth's training grounds actually paid off." As they repaired the conduit, a faint tremor shook the tunnels. Dust fell from the ceiling and Alex's heart jumped. Zyra's eyes flickered with light, sensing the shift immediately. "Not expected," she said calmly. "We must move quickly." The tremor intensified and a low growl echoed through the tunnels. Alex's pulse quickened. "What is that?" he whispered. Zyra extended her appendages defensively. "Unknown life form detected. It is likely hostile. Evacuate to upper levels." Alex nodded, following her as they ran through the twisting tunnels. The sound grew louder, echoing in metallic resonance. Suddenly, a massive, quadrupedal creature with armored plates emerged from a side passage. Its glowing eyes locked on them. Alex froze, but Zyra's appendages flared, her body glowing faintly as she released a series of rapid signals. The creature hesitated, sensing Zyra's energy. Alex realized she was communicating in a way he could not fully understand, controlling or at least influencing the creature's behavior. With a flick of her appendages, she guided it away from them, giving them a chance to escape. "Impressive," Alex said once they reached a safer corridor. "How did you do that?" Zyra tilted her head. "Manipulation of energy signals and pheromones. My species uses this for communication and defense. Observation of your instinctive evasion also informed my strategy." Alex exhaled, feeling a mix of relief and awe. "You're incredible." "And so are humans," Zyra replied. "Your quick thinking allowed me to execute optimal strategy." They finally reached the upper levels, where maintenance drones were already working to stabilize the area. Alex realized just how dangerous life on this colony could be, and how much he relied on Zyra's abilities, and how much she relied on his human ingenuity. Together, they were a formidable team. Back in their apartment later that evening, Alex collapsed on the bed, exhausted. Zyra hovered nearby, her glowing eyes softening as she observed him. "You handled yourself well today," she said. "Your species demonstrates extraordinary courage and adaptability." Alex smiled tiredly. "Thanks. Couldn't have done it without you, though." "You saved me back there." Zyra's lip-flicking gesture appeared again. "Acknowledged. Cooperation between species is advantageous. I value this bond." Alex chuckled. "Bond, huh? I guess we are quite the team." Over the next few days, life returned to a semblance of normalcy. Alex and Zyra continued their routines, blending exploration, learning, and occasional mischief. Zyra's fascination with human habits grew, and Alex found himself explaining even the smallest things: why humans laugh, why they decorate their spaces, and why they value certain rituals. Zyra absorbed everything eagerly, sometimes mimicking human gestures in her own alien way, which always made Alex laugh. One evening, they worked together on a small experiment, trying to optimize a nutrient synth for humans using Zyra's technology. The device blinked and hummed as they adjusted settings, combining human taste preferences with alien efficiency. Alex tasted the first batch and smiled. Not bad, actually really good. Zyra's eyes glowed brighter. Affirmed, this combination is optimal. Human palate preferences considered, efficiency maintained. Fascinating, Alex laughed. I never thought I'd be teaching an alien about ice cream. And I never thought I would learn, Zyra replied with a soft hum. Days passed, filled with laughter, learning, and small victories. They explored markets, helped fellow colonists, and even organized minor repairs around the apartment. Each day, Alex felt more confident, more capable. Zyra's presence, once intimidating, was now a source of inspiration. One morning, Alex awoke to find Zyra waiting by the window, her eyes scanning the colony. Alex, she said, I have been analyzing human resilience. You exemplify the qualities I admire most: creativity, adaptability, and courage. I respect your species. Alex blinked, feeling a warmth in his chest. Thanks, Zyra, that means a lot. She tilted her head, her lip-flicking gesture gentle this time. It is factual. Humans survive and thrive where others falter. You are remarkable. Alex grinned, realizing that despite the initial embarrassment of being caught naked, the long days of learning, laughing, and surviving together had created a bond unlike anything he had experienced. Zyra had opened his eyes to the wonders of interspecies friendship, and he had shown her the remarkable adaptability of humans. As the sun set over the colony, casting the sky in brilliant hues of red and gold, Alex and Zyra stood side by side on their apartment balcony. Below, the colony buzzed with life, strange and beautiful, chaotic and full of possibilities. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the day, the thrill of survival, and the pride of human ingenuity. He looked at Zyra, whose glowing eyes reflected the sunset, and smiled. You know, life here, it's pretty amazing, and I wouldn't want to face it with anyone else. Zyra's appendages shifted in a gentle, almost affectionate motion. Nor I, Alex. Cooperation, learning, and mutual respect, these are qualities I value highly. You and your species inspire me, Alex laughed softly. Humans inspiring aliens, who would have thought? Fascination is mutual, Zyra replied. And so life continued on the colony. Together, Alex and Zyra faced challenges, explored new worlds, and learned from each other. Every obstacle was an opportunity to grow, every mistake a lesson in adaptation. In their partnership, Alex realized something profound. Humans had an extraordinary ability to connect, to overcome, and to inspire, even across worlds. And that was a truth Zyra would carry with her forever. Humans, in all their chaotic brilliance, were truly remarkable. The colony, with its strange creatures, strange foods, and endless surprises, became not just a place to survive, but a place to thrive. For Alex and Zyra, every day was an adventure, every lesson a celebration of ingenuity and friendship, and every shared moment a testament to the strength of humanity. As night fell, the stars stretched endlessly across the sky. Alex and Zyra looked up together, two beings from different worlds, bound by curiosity, courage, and respect. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new discoveries, and new laughter. But tonight, they simply existed together in perfect harmony, proving once again that humans could rise above any obstacle, even on the farthest reaches of the galaxy.